Well, how's it going?
Oh, I'm fine. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
realize you
yeah,
were talking.
yeah.
Who
Yeah.
else are you talking to?
Who else are you talking to? I don't know who you're talking to. How are you? I'm doing okay.
I'm fine. Uh, yeah, I'm okay. Um, yeah, I'm here.
We have a lot to go over.
Yep.
There was a lot to go. There was a lot happening this weekend. We had you ran races on Saturday. We had an on-road race on Sunday. We had I was in Hutchinson announcing for the Fall Classic. We had a bunch of our locals going to is it Thunder Road?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
So
that had gone there.
that
Yeah,
had gone there. Yeah. So there's a lot going on. So I don't even know where to start.
yeah.
Yeah, so we were talking. So Rich and I were talking earlier because here's the thing. So I was in a good mood yesterday. I was in a good mood this morning. I went and got us a new speaker for the track
Ooh,
that I'm gonna after we get done here. I'm gonna go test real fast just to make sure it works. Otherwise, I'll have to take it back. But
I'm always surprised that nobody ever came up with a speaker company named Speakeasy Speakers. It might exist, but I think that would be a good name.
that would be a good name. You should have a job as like a brainstormer. You always come up with good names.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways, so I did that. So I was in a good mood, and then I, of course, anytime that I get in a good mood, all I got to do is like flip on Reddit on my phone or like look at Facebook, and then I start getting all angry and pissed off again. And I just started thinking about how I've got 2 months basically to get rid of some stuff that I've accumulated in my house, in my RC collection that I don't really want, that I had planned on selling at some point. But now I'm like, it's like crunch time because after this year, they changed the rules on eBay and PayPal and Venmo and stuff that if you sell anything more than $600 now instead of $20,000, so it went from 20 grand, $600. So if you go over $600 of goods and services, you get slapped with a 1099K, and you got to like prove that you didn't make money and you don't have to pay taxes, or you have to pay taxes on it.
Wow. That sure is something, isn't it?
I mean, and the thing is like everything that I'd say 90% of the stuff I've accumulated through trades. I've just straight bought it for from cash. Of course there's some personal stuff that I bought from the Plex that I at least have a receipt for. But a lot of the stuff that I have, I don't have receipts for. It doesn't work like that in the used market. So if I take that and I play with it for a while and then I decide, I want something different, and I throw it on eBay and I get a little bit of money back. Well, now if I do that and I make more than $600 in a year, then I'm in danger of being taxed on it.
Why would anybody ever have a hustle anymore?
It sucks. Yeah.
Like it. It's like if you had a lemonade stand when you were a kid and it was just a banging lemonade stand, like all kinds of people coming by getting all kinds of lemonade. You don't even know. You own a small corner at Country Time. You're making so much lemonade, man.
Right.
And then like it's like one of the moms. It's like, you have to pay taxes on all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's one of those. That's how it feels.
Yeah. Peter just brought up Facebook Marketplace. It's actually Marketplace. So if you notice, Facebook's got like Facebook Pay now too, where they're trying to get into the payment game. And if you use that, you also would be under that same rule. I've been looking this up. So I've never had much luck on Facebook Marketplace. Whenever I use Facebook Marketplace to sell any RC stuff, I just get constant low balls. And I'm just like, screw you guys.
It's because everybody that buys stuff used like an RC on Facebook there's like bashers and stuff. And they don't want to pay anything for it. Like I've sold 3 scooters on Facebook Marketplace, and all of them sold for what I asked.
I've never. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say that. I put a car on today, as a matter of fact, because I kind of knew it would sell locally because it's just a cool truck. I put an SCX 3 out there today.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I sold it within a half hour.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty much for what I wanted for it. but that's pretty rare. That doesn't happen that often. I was trying to do some marketplace earlier in the year when I was kind of already like eBay changed the way you do payments, so you couldn't just have it like before. Yeah, I had an eBay account, you get paid, and it's PayPal only. So then you would get paid through PayPal. Well, the cool thing was, and it's a good thing my wife never watches this show or listens to it, but basically that money would go to my PayPal account. My wife had no idea what was in my PayPal account.
Yeah.
And that was my funny money for RC stuff for, for the last 10 years or so. Well, eBay changed their thing. So they took the payments. They got rid of they split with PayPal altogether. Well, now anything that I sell on eBay or whatever goes into my bank account so my wife can actually see how much I earned. And then I still pay my PayPal account credit line with that. So she's like, what's this going to your PayPal account for? And I'm like, well, I just make up stuff now. I'm just like, that last hotel that Will and I went to.
Yeah. Will still hasn't paid me for it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like for no reason. You make me look bad.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was kind of grumpy today. And then on the way here, the BP down the street has become a Casey's. And from the Plex, that BP station across the street. So the Walmart Murphy's gas station always had cheap gas. So when they went in there, the BP station had to match their prices. Otherwise, why would you go to the BP if they were 30 cents higher than the Walmart gas, right? Mm-hmm. Well, not this Casey's, apparently. This Casey's is like, we're Casey's. It's going to be expensive no matter what. You get points or whatever. So
we'll give you points in
They were
exchange.
like 20 cents higher. And
Really?
I walked in there to get my Kickstart, and I'm like, hey, you guys know you're 20 cents higher than that gas station next door to you? I'm like, are you guys ever going to match that like the old gas station did? And this lady who's like the manager of the place, she's like, well, we're going to be competitive, but we're not going to match them. And I was like, oh, so you're never going to sell gas. That's cool. I'm just here for the Kickstarts and pizza. I'll see you later.
I hate Casey's.
I'll get my gas over there.
Everybody's like, "Oh, I just love Casey's. They're clean. You go in there, you know what I mean." And it's like, "Oh, the food. It's been sitting there all day. It's decent." And it's
some Casey's are clean.
Yeah, I know.
Not all of them.
I'm just saying what some people say.
Yeah,
I just like it. Just like, ugh, it's runs shivers up and down my spine.
So in my opinion, if I had to pick between, so we've got, what do we got? We got Come and Goes, QTs. Casey's, and we had BP, right?
Yeah.
Well, BP's got all the Omaha BP's have been purchased by Casey's.
Oh, really?
So they're all going to become Casey's.
What is that? Is that South Park? We're sorry.
We're sorry.
BP.
We're sorry.
We're sorry.
Oh, that's yeah. The
the gas spill.
The Captain Hindsight.
Yeah. We're sorry.
We're sorry. He's laid out in front of a fireplace naked on a bearskin rug.
Yeah.
Drinking wine. He's like, here at BP, we just want you to know that we're sorry. We're really, really, really sorry. Anyways, where was I at?
The government.
Oh yeah, no. So the gas station thing. QT in my opinion is the best gas station.
Probably, I would agree.
You can get their food when you get it made is actually really good, and they usually have the same sales on Kickstarts that I always like. Ice cream cones are only 79 cents, and they're big, tall ice cream cones.
What's that place down the street that has that big old truck car wash thing? Is that a Casey's now?
That's Casey's now. Yeah.
No, that's the one?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's Casey's.
Wait, what it used to be, a Cubby's?
It was a BP. It was a Cubby's, and then a BP, and then a Casey's. I actually boycotted it when it was a Cubby's.
Okay. Yeah, because of me, there was a rule on how tall your ice cream cone could be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, you know how they had that sign there next to the thing? So, like, cannot be any taller than this?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was because of me.
So I haven't flipped out on somebody as bad as I flipped out on the lady who was working there when it was a Cubby's.
Yeah.
Ever. And I vowed never to go back. And then it became a BP, and I walked in there, and she wasn't there, obviously. So I was like, oh, well, I'll come back now.
Mm-hmm.
But basically what it was they had a sign. It was three for it was really cheap Kickstart. I can't remember the exact number, but it was really, really cheap Kickstart. And when I took it up there and I set my Kickstarts down and they ring up wrong, and I'm like, hey, your sign back there says that it's 3 for something something. And she's like, no, that was last week or last month or whatever. I'm like, no, your sign literally says that. And she's like, no, that's just for the skinny ones. And I'm like, no, it says 16 and 12 ounce or whatever. And she didn't believe me. And so she's like, well, let's go find out. And then so she walked up there and she walked back there and she opened the door and she grabbed the sign. I said, see, it says right there. And she's like, I'm taking this sign down. This is the last time, blah, blah, blah. And she like yelled at the lady in front to ring me up for this. And then that was the last one or whatever. And blah, blah, blah. She like used a cuss word. And so I was like holding it in. Finally, I was like, you know what? Blankety blank this place and blankety blank you. You can go blankety blank yourself and take these stupid Kickstarts and shove them up your blankety blank blank. Blank, 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 blank. Like, I was mad. I haven't been that mad at somebody in a really long time, and I had an outburst. And then I went on Google and I gave them one of my superior reviews, and then that was it.
You should have like threw them and broke them on the ground.
Yeah,
in the gas
but
station.
there's got to be a line between just having enough and having an outburst and getting cited for assault.
Oh.
So I feel like if
you could have opened it and dumped it out.
I feel like if you throw something at somebody, that's technically assault.
Oh, if you throw them on the ground, that's fine. Yeah. You should have just opened one and dumped it on the floor.
I know. I got suspended once in junior high because this is our last story, and then we'll get to RC stuff. But
yeah, whatever.
Unless you got a story, but
nah.
Okay, so my family was my mom split up from my dad, single mom. She wanted to live in the same house, so my dad actually paid our house payment. My dad's a good dad, right? Not a douche. So, but we still didn't have any money, and so I was on reduced lunch in junior high.
You're on government money?
I was on, well, I don't know about government money, but I was on a reduced lunch. We still had to pay for it, but I remember it was like something silly, like 40 cents.
Nice.
So,
it's like, why do they even charge you?
Right. The treasurer lady, who's this old, annoying lady, you were supposed to, every month, you were supposed to wait in line, and they all had their little cash boxes or whatever, and you were supposed to pay them for the month or 2 weeks or whatever it was. And my mom didn't have that much money, and so she gave me 40 cents. And she said, here, just give her this for today, and we'll figure it out tomorrow. Okay? And so I waited in this long line, and this was the same day that I remember what happened. I had woke up late, and I didn't want to be late, so I just put on whatever socks I could find on the ground, and I had one sock that was white and one sock that was yellow because it was early enough in the morning where I couldn't see colors very well, like I had just woken up. And I was standing there, and the kids started to notice it, and then I noticed it, and I was like, oh, my God, I've got one yellow sock and one white sock. And so I tried crossing them, and then they were making fun of me because I was trying to cross my feet with my shorts on because I knew that I didn't have the same color. Anyways, so I get up there, and I set the 40 cents on the thing, and she starts just going off on me and saying how she's not going to do this and you know, she shouldn't have to do this, is a bunch of crap or whatever. I remember being so mad that I took my 40 cents and I just chucked it at her as hard as I could.
Yeah.
It was great. And
man, that's really degrading for a junior high school kid.
Yeah, no, I know. So I chucked my 40 cents at her and I stormed off. And then like 20 minutes later, I got called into the principal's office, and they had taped the 40 cents to the referral.
Mm-hmm.
And then they called my mom. And this was the best part. This is how you know you got a cool mom. I told my mom what happened. And my mom was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, this is what happened. This is why I did that. And so instead of being in trouble, my mom left work, came down to the school, walked in, found this lady, and just started screaming at her as loud as she possibly could, like getting in her face. It was one of the greatest moments in junior high that I've ever had. Because I was not a cool kid. I was a fat, short, you know, just not popular, not cool kid or whatever. And that was one of the coolest things ever was my mom went in there. And then, unfortunately, a year later, my mom decided that because I was skipping school so much that she was going to follow me to every single class, which was even more embarrassing than having some old crappy lady tell you what a piece of crap you are for only paying 40 cents for your school lunch for a day. But anyways, that was really cool. That was a good day. It ended up being a good day. I didn't even get in trouble. I didn't even get in trouble.
Really?
The principal was like, okay, well, we understand, that sort of thing. But yeah, it was great. Anyways,
$5.
yeah, we went from the government totally sucks to gas stations to
the government not taking your 40 cents.
My 40 cents. Yeah, you're totally right. So anyways, this is Alex Sturgeon, Hobbytown HobbyPlex.
Oh yeah, we didn't even do that.
And with me as always,
Will Brinton of the Will Brinton.
Yeah. And as always, this show brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. If you mention our show to a Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad, you can get a discount, a $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your interest rate if you get a home loan or a refinance. And we're going on will it be almost a year? 2 years? How long have we been doing this?
I thought 2.
We're getting close to 2 years.
Are we?
I think so. We did it.
Richard, do you know?
Yeah, it's getting close to 2 years.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they've been sponsoring this show for almost 2 years. Because this show was only supposed to be like once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been hard to get once a month in with all the stuff that we talk about.
Well, it'd end up being like a 2-hour show once a month.
Yeah. What are you working on? They want to know.
Oh, my gas truck.
More on your gas truck?
Yeah, I'm putting a new chassis on it.
Chad texted me and wanted to know if I wanted to race one. And I'm like, dude, I can't. I don't have the time or the Techno Series. I have a feeling after...
I told him to ask you.
I have a feeling after hearing stuff, we're going to have a shit ton of people there next Saturday.
For what?
For the Techno Series.
That's next Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
So I just can't, it's hard for me to even want to race when we have such a good turnout for that because I don't want to screw anything up. I think I'll still race e-buggy, but I probably shouldn't, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I should probably just race gas truck.
I mean, honestly, just the fact that you're there probably is the only reason why I would race anyways.
What? Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
until
cool.
we're in the same heat, then I got to figure out what to do, but
yeah.
Or
we both make the main.
Yeah, exactly. At least it's e-buggy main and not the half-hour nitro main.
Yeah, you're right.
So, but like I said, as we started, we got a lot to talk about. What do you want to do first? You want to talk about our racers that went to Thunder Road or Thunder?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let me get on
Thundertown.
Thundertown.
Yeah.
Did you?
It is a hobby town, so you could call it Thundertown.
Yeah, Thundertown. Did you hear? Junior's?
Oh no!
Did you hear Junior's
yeah,
podcast?
Oh yeah,
man.
Dude, I was getting so many texts about that, dude. Oh man, I would be so embarrassed.
So
it's the equivalent of well, never mind. I'm not going to say that on this show. This is a clashy show.
I'll just tell you that I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to shutting the track down and getting out of there. I mean, there was one morning where I came in and somebody had already raced on the track before 7:00 because there was daylight, and I was pissed. Actually, I think it was the Nats.
Oh,
I think it was Wednesday practice for the Nats.
Mm-hmm.
Practice started at 10.
I remember that.
And somebody had already practiced out there before 10:00. And I was pretty hot because, that's not cool.
No, it totally isn't cool.
Practice starts at 10. That's the rule.
Most disrespectful thing you can do to everybody else there. That is like the worst thing you could do. I think, in my opinion. Like, it is literally the only thing you could do to give yourself an advantage.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to bring it up, but since you brought it up,
no,
we'll
I
talk about
I
it,
don't
but-
care.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to the Ran Out of Talent podcast this week, go do it. It's an interesting thing because the thing I like about Joe, he doesn't care.
No,
He'll say
Joe
whatever.
cool.
He'll say whatever happened, and whatever was on his mind about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm even I'm at fault for sometimes needing to be a little, I guess, political when it comes to my views on things.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't care.
Well, I don't know what happened exactly. I wasn't there, but just going off of that, I mean, hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, those people weren't allowed to race, or somebody wasn't allowed to participate, or something.
They did.
Yeah,
That was the one thing Ryan was like, did they still get allowed to race? And they're like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever. It is what it is. But I hope everybody knows that's a for me, when the track's closed, the track's closed. When the track opens, the track opens. Yours truly never gets any extra time. In fact, I probably practice the least out of everybody.
That's the thing. Like track time is so valuable at these races, just to work on a car setup, like to get practice with nobody else on the track.
Yeah.
Like that is huge. Like each one lap is like the equivalent of 10 laps of, controlled practice, really.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to marshal.
Well, I mean, for instance,
you get to just go try something.
For instance, when you and I would stay Friday night and get extra track time after the races are over,
mm-hmm.
and when we had Tuesday night racing, this was when my son was a lot younger, so I could kind of get away with it on the family side of things. But I would stay after races and run for like a couple hours on Tuesday nights.
We used to stay on Friday nights after racing. There's a few times that we left at 5 o'clock in the morning or earlier,
right?
Like 6, and I'd just go to your house and sleep on your futon, then go home or something.
Yeah,
or even go back and race carpet on Sunday, depending on what time of year it was.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean that sort of track time, in my opinion, was very valuable back in the day, back in probably 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, nobody's there, nobody's bugging us. Like you just try stuff.
Yeah. And then that being said, when it came to a summer series race, when the track closed at 10, it was closed.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go out there and get extra track time.
No.
I still never do. So that was kind of interesting. That was a weird thing to listen to and to find out.
And you can't say that you didn't know or something like that, because they went to some measures to keep people from knowing.
Yeah. Dude, the whole hidden camera thing is pretty sick.
It's great. It is great. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I thought that was awesome. Like,
Man.
To be a fly on the wall when they tried to back out of that one.
Oh. Like, dude, you have you on camera.
It like made... never mind. No, I don't I don't want to say anything bad or whatever. But
the other thing about that though, there have been some races that I've gone to where the locals seemed oddly faster the next day.
Yeah.
So that happens.
I was there, man.
That happens more often than not.
Mm-hmm. I think that guys have tried to catch us too. Because you and I shut the place down usually on Friday nights before the summer series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the one thing that we do have going for us is you do water the track.
Yeah.
So people
o'clock.
can see you watering it.
Yeah.
So that that there's no way that anybody could drive on it.
Exactly.
But I know that there's guys that have maybe thought that about us.
Mm-hmm. I think back when I was winning a lot in 15 and 16, there was some chatter even from, I mean, they don't race anymore, but even from a couple locals. I think they sort of hinted that I was finding ways to get practice time, and I'm like, sorry.
No, you're just better than everybody else.
Sorry, at the time
then.
I was.
And now you're not. So
yeah, now I'm not. So
I'm kidding.
No, it's true. No,
it was frustrating.
You speak the truth. You
why I
speak the
practiced?
truth.
Yeah, you know why I practiced so much back then? It's because I was sick and tired of getting my ass kicked by you. That's why. That was the only reason.
You were sick
why.
and tired of getting your ass kicked by me when I never practiced.
Yeah. Well, that and like that one girl I was with like kept me from driving.
Oh yeah, that too.
That's a different story.
Yeah, now you're married to a good one.
Yeah, now I'm married to my wife, and she lets me do what I want.
Me. So. It's like I married a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to skim over the results, find some locals. So, Ethan Delaire made both mains.
Nice.
And I think he finished 7th in both mains. Let me look here. AAA main results. There he is. Look at that. Ethan Delaire, 7th place. He beat Harley Yoshi and Jason Rona, making the mod main.
Wow.
That's cool. Kyle Holmberg got 4th.
That's pretty badass.
That's pretty cool too. Holmberg's
See, I wonder how I would have
Holmberg's
done
like a half local.
Yeah. I kind of wonder how I would have done if I'd have gone now.
Yeah,
because like the last time I was up there, Kyle Holmberg won the B main and bumped into the A, and was it Kendall Welch and I duked it out for second,
right?
And those guys were, I mean, fast back then. So I kind of I feel like there was more talent at that race, like higher level drivers at that event that I went to. Not to say that there wasn't this time, but I think that there was more heavy hitters.
Right.
If that makes sense. I kind of wonder if I would have had a shot making the show with this one.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see.
You never know. I'm gonna start building my Schumacher tonight, so I'm getting ready to race mod at our place.
Yeah, we'll see.
And Ethan's the one to catch, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hopefully, just one lap down. That's my goal. One lap down. Ethan got 7th in 4-wheel drive. Actually, Seth Van Dalen got 8th. And
oh wow,
that's basically it out of all of the locals for mod. I know in stock. Let's see who went up there. Chance went up there. Josh Ryan went up there.
Nice.
Who else went up there? Who else was there? Was that it? Was it just them this time?
Who's that kid that's getting really fast in stock at our track?
Oh, the Bairdings.
Yeah, did they go?
I think so.
They were. I think they were there. I think they go every year.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let me see. Expert 2-wheel drive, A main. Davey Botta, Matt Gonzalez, Cal Holmberg, Ethan Mickelson, Matthew Mickelson, Jake Wiggs, making 9th place in the Expert A main.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. Andy Krivitz. I haven't heard that name in a little while. 10th. Let's see. Independent A main. See if I find. So I should have done this before we started the show. I was planning to, but then I kind of forgot. Well, it's not that I forgot. I just got really busy.
Yeah, you just forgot.
Yeah. Jason Arona won 40 plus.
Bad ass.
Craig Kruger got 4th.
I heard was Aaron Bonner there?
Aaron Bonner was there. I think he was only in the C main or something like that.
I wonder if he was running the Aaron Bonner shock system on his off-road car.
Probably not.
Just out of nostalgia.
So they had a short course truck class, and it looks like Tyler Brinkerhoff finished 5th. And
who was it that had
those? Roger hasn't been down in a while, but he ended up being 10th.
Who was it that had those stickers on their car that said the Aaron Bonner School of Defensive Driving?
That was Bob. He's racing again. Bob
Rogie.
Bob Rogie.
Yeah, the Aaron Bonner School of Defensive Driving.
Have I ever told a story about the time in Lincoln? Right.
Not on the show.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of leading you into it.
All right. So another story we're going to take. This is going to be a great show. This is more anger oriented show. I'm really sorry if it's not your style, but this is great. Back in my more rambunctious days, I was running the Lincoln track, and we had a big on-road race, and We were racing mod touring car on this tiny little 8-second carpet track. And Jeff Kozine and I were having a really good race for second place. Okay, we were swapping positions. It was pretty clean. Like we never really took each other out. Aaron Bonner had lapped us already, I think, or something like that. He's just smoking us. But we were having a really good race for second. So he came up to lap us for like a second time. And instead of just being patient, poor Aaron Bonner. I'm not crapping on Aaron Bonner, by the way, in this story. I mean, I kind of am, but in a good way. We like Aaron Bonner.
It's funny.
It is a funny story, though. But anyways, so he just came through and just plowed me and just took me out of the running for second place when he was already a lap ahead. And that made me very mad. And so I decided that I was going to forgo the rest of my race and just make it my mission in life to just slam into Aaron Bonner's car as many times as possible. And so he caught up to me again, and I lined up, and I just straight lined this corner and just kablam, obliterated his car. It ended up hitting the boards and messing up the track, and his car ended up on the wrong side. And then my car was fine. You know, it was just a huge hit. And on the driver's stand, he's like, "You feel better?" And I was like, "Not really." We still got a minute to go. Like, you know, so, but yeah, we're all cool now. I just want everybody to know but that was a really funny story.
No, it's just a really funny story about,
it's a crazy funny story, but to his credit, he was super fast. So what are you going to do? You know, that's a pet peeve of mine. If you're a lap ahead or 2 laps ahead and you don't give me a corner or two to get out of the way and you just obliterate me, then yeah, I'm going to be a little irritated. Anyways, 13.5 four-wheel drive A main. Kyle Holmberg got the win in that one. And I thought I saw... There he is. Caden Bairding made the main, finished 10th. So good job. They had an independent four-wheel drive buggy class. They had a lot of classes up there. I don't see anybody I notice. Stadium truck. Let's see. Jake Wiggs getting second. There's Chance. Chance Rolk got 5th. Aaron Bonner, there he is. He got 6th.
Yeah.
In Stadium Truck, A main.
Woo.
Joe Zaire Sr. finished 8th. They had a slash spec class. What the heck? Cool. Why didn't I go?
I don't know. You would have won.
I have a stack. I have a stock slash.
Dude, there's probably guys got like limiters in their shocks and are taking it too seriously.
Oh, I know. Caden Bairding was in the B of Expert 2-wheel drive. He finished 8th.
That's pretty good, though.
Yeah. And let me look at independent. Otherwise, we got to move on. But nope, nobody there. Here's the Expert 4-wheel drive B main. Let's see who's in this. Caden must have got the bump because he got second in that one. And then, nope, nobody I recognize there. Independent 4-wheel drive. Nope, nobody there. Stadium truck B main. Nope, not really. See, Expert 4-wheel drive. C main. Chance Rolk, there he is. So Chance made the C main in 13.5, finished 3rd, just outside. John Bairding was in that one, finished 5th. Brinkerhoff was in that one, finished 10th. So, I mean, overall, that's a pretty good showing. They had 238 entries up there. So
that's pretty awesome.
That was really good.
Is that the biggest turnout they've had for that race?
I don't know.
I know it wasn't the independent classes their biggest classes.
Looks like it. Yeah, it did look like it.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, that's the way it should be.
Right.
You just want regular Joes. Regular Joes are what make this work. Without them, because nobody else pays for stuff. So, I want to talk about where I went this weekend a little bit. So, High Performance Hobbies, also known as HP Hobbies, down in Hutchinson, Kansas. This is the 37th We looked it up. It's the 37th annual Fall Classic. So how old are you?
32.
So this race has been going on 5 years longer than you've been alive.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I'm 42, so the race started when I was 5. And the turnout was okay. I think they were expecting somewhere along the lines of 200, maybe 180. I looked at last year's. I think there was like 180 entries last year. So I think they were hoping to get that same number. They ended up with 150. So there's a whole crew from Colorado that were signed up and then ended up not making it. And then there was a few guys from Oklahoma that had gotten sick or had sick kids that couldn't come. And there was a few from our area that went. Alex Vanderbeek went. The McCormicks, Ashley and Easton were there. So it was a good all around turnout. It was kind of felt like our regional again.
Yeah.
So, but I thought it went really well. I have been hired away to do several RC car races in my lifetime. So the first one I really did that wasn't local was the 2003 Mod Nats.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove all the way to the Tilt Yard in Virginia to run that race. And I thought I did an okay job. I remember at the time thinking that it was going to be like kind of a door that was open, where I was going to get contacted maybe to do more, and it never really materialized.
Yeah.
But that was okay. And then I've done the 2016 Roar E-Buggy Nats, the 2017 Roar Gas Nats. Of course, the 17 Gas Nats almost made me want to quit racing RC cars. But
what? Where was that one at?
That was at State Line.
Oh, yeah.
It was just the way that the Roar people were treated. It was terrible.
No, I remember. Yep, I remember.
We did almost a whole show about it.
Yeah. Nope. Sorry.
That's okay. So it's not something that's new to me, and Lifetime makes it so freaking easy. I mean, if your track doesn't have Lifetime, it's totally worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy to use, and if something goes wrong, you can fix it. You're not going to like crash the system or anything.
Yeah.
So, they did AAA mains for all classes. And then we had a discussion before I set up the race, and it was decided to do bump ups for all classes, kind of the same way we do the Pro Tech race.
Mm-hmm.
So, the weird thing about this one was there were only 9 two-wheel drive mod cars.
Really?
Yeah. Usually there's, in the past when I've gone to the Fall Classic, there's been at least 3 heats.
Huh.
So.
Where's everybody?
I don't know.
Well, I guess I didn't make it.
Yeah. They kind of want me to go back and do the Salt City Classic as well. And that's the middle weekend of January. So if you can go to that one, you should go.
We'll see.
I know we're kind of in the middle of 8-scale racing, so by that time. And gas truck. I just want to go over the results real fast. So find some locals here. So Mason Herrick won both expert stock and 13.5 wheeler. And 13.5 wheeler was the biggest class of the weekend. I think there was 40 cars. And he just killed everybody.
Yeah.
He was clearly the fastest one. Easton McCormick, though, qualified 5th, but ended up finishing 2nd overall. He did really, really well.
That's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
Is that single A mains or triple?
Triple. And especially because he hasn't raced in about a month. I mean, he hasn't raced since the end of the summer series. No, I don't even think he made the end of the summer series. I think it was August. So
yeah, I don't think he did either.
Yep. Ken Peterson. These are all names that we know, too. So Ken Peterson ended up getting 3rd. Ashley McCormick ended up getting 4th. Brent Riley was 5th. Chad Ruben King went, so more locals. Eric Larson was there. He finished 7th. Christopher West was 8th. Dustin Hamilton was 9th. And Brett Nelson was 10th. Stadium truck. So this was weird. They only had 3 stadium trucks. And
Mod or
13.5.
okay.
And then they only had 3 mini truggies.
Yeah.
And they don't run mod; they run at 10.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I bet you're wishing you went.
So I was like,
You raced rather.
Dude, it wasn't on the flyer. Mini truggy wasn't on the flyer, so I didn't even bring it. If I would have known they had mini truggy, I probably would have brought it. But I still don't have a 10.5 motor, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
But you had
maybe with that little people, you could have saw if you just turn your motor down.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. I would have just been like, oh, okay, fine. Emerson blew up the speed controller in that mini truggy though, so I gotta get a speed controller for it.
Oh, yeah.
So it was James Lowen in mini truggy, Brian Beal second mini truggy. Let's see, and Katie Kane was third, and then Rock Lee, who I'd met for the first time, won Stadium Truck. Jim Liggett was second, and Chris Keene was third. They had a 13.5 buggy class, which is really popular down there. I think, doesn't Fastlane have one too? 13.5 two-wheel drive?
Yes, I believe so. Super stock?
Yeah.
Is that what they called it? Or
that's what they called it, yeah.
Super stock?
Yeah. So I've actually won 13.5 down there before at a fall classic. I think it was 2017, 18, something like that, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I only took it because I was like, oh wow, they have super stock, and I had a 13.5 motor. I'm like, I'll run that too.
Didn't you run rear motor too?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ran a rear motor 22. Couldn't believe how well it worked, actually.
Yeah, it worked pretty good.
Yeah, no. Lane McGee killed everybody in this one, ended up taking the win. Connor Herrick qualified terrible, but ended up finishing second overall. There was actually a tie between him and Matt McGee on time, and Connor had the better combined time. And then Brett, and then the track owner Steve Redden, Jeff Warner, John Davies, we recognize those names, Ray Burns, Hacker, and Kevin Moyer. Two-wheel drive mod buggy, so Alex Vanderbeek won both mod classes, two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. His four-wheel drive qualifying was atrocious, but he ended up pulling it out in the end. In two-wheel drive, his first main, he walked away from everybody. His second main was a little closer, but then he got to sit out the rest of it. Ross Westhoff had him in the second main and just couldn't quite get close enough. Drew Rubenking was also very fast. Had his shots at Alex, and just the track was so grippy that it was very, very easy to crash and roll over and do all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Then it was Ken Peterson, Taylor Larson. He hasn't really been racing a lot, so he was. I wouldn't say he was struggling, but his normal pace I don't think was really quite there. Dave Alberico struggled in the mains, but he did qualify second. Trevor Nault, Eric Larson, Glenn Bean. Glenn had a Schumacher and broke his steering rack.
Oh, was he done?
Yeah. Yep. Nobody had parts because it's a Schumacher. It's kind of the boat I'm going to be in, so hopefully I don't break that.
Buy two kits.
Yeah. No, thank you. We just had a discussion about how I can't do my normal eBay thing anymore.
Oh, yeah.
40 plus, though, Glenn Bean did borrow Trevor Nault's buggy and ended up winning. He TQ'd and won. Eric Larson was second. Chris Poehler, also known as Cool, was third.
Nice.
Then Ray Burns, Rock Lee, John Davies, Steve Redden, James Lowen, Dustin Hamilton, Gavin Lusk. If Trevor had not taken the weekend off and you could have gone with me and raced and announced when I was racing, I would have raced 40 plus.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I would have. That's okay though.
But yeah,
it's fine.
Had to hold down the fort.
Yep. Vanderbeek won four-wheel drive. David Alberico got second. This was basically a rematch of regionals. Drew Rubenking was third. So same podium, just juxtaposition a few. Ross Westhoff was fourth. Trevor Nault was fifth. Christopher West was sixth. Taylor Larson seventh, and Brian Beal bumped up but didn't ended up racing. There was like four of them and they were just doing it for the fun of it, but there was quite a big performance gap.
Yeah.
Skill gap between them, so they didn't want to be in the way.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah. Expert stock, like I said, Mason Herrick just really handed it to everybody. Ken Peterson, though, got second in that one. Lane McGee had another good race with Dad, Matt McGee, right behind him. And then the McCormicks, it was kind of cool because at one time it was like a McGee, a McCormick, a McGee, and a McCormick. And they kept swapping around. So then it was Easton and Ashley, and then Brett, Cool, Shane Alberico, and then Brent Riley. Just had some really crappy luck. Novice was pretty fun. I do have video of it for Peter. I figured he'd want to see what other Plex Spec places were like. That's not called Plex Spec. They called it Novice. So, whatever. But Ashley Lane got a TQ and a win, but Chance Schwind probably should have won it. He won AMA number 1, and then he lost a wheel with a lap to go in AMA number 2. While in the lead. So, probably should have won. Ended up second overall. And then the Bentley, Caleb, Nicholas, and then there was a whole bunch of them that left. Aaron, Cody, Bronx, Tommy. And then they did have, the weird thing is, how they only had 3 stadium trucks?
Yeah.
They had like 15 short course trucks.
What?
2-wheel drive.
That's neat.
Yeah. So guess who was really happy about that?
Ashley.
Yes. Ashley McCormick ended up taking the win.
Nice.
Yep. Dustin Hamilton finished second. Rock Lee was third. And then it was Brett Nelson, Matt McGee, Cameron Spruill, Lane McGee, James Lowen, Chris Craig, and Jalen Weddingel. And then there was a Sportsman stock buggy. And if you would have combined Sportsman and Expert, it would have been the biggest class of the weekend. Cameron Spruill took the win in 2 mains, I believe. I don't think he had to race the last one. Maybe he did, now that I think about it. Yeah, I did come down the last one. What am I saying? Kevin Moore got second. Tyler Canine ended up third. The real race was between like 4 dudes for third place. And then it was Jared McCreary, Chris Craig, John Gruber, Caden Dugan, Mackenzie West, Steve Besker, and Clayton Mitchell. And that was our race down there. It was 150 entries, so it was pretty easy. It was almost like a summer series race, except we had 4 qualifiers on Saturday. We started qualifying at 9:30. We were done at 8.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. I went to Chick-fil-A that night. It was good. And then we had your race.
Oh, yeah. I had a race.
So, how was it?
Oh, the carpet racing?
No, the carpet off-road. Yeah, how did that go?
No, it went well. Smooth sailing over calm seas, really. I had some help from Tim getting stuff sorted out in the computer, but other than that, I don't think it went too bad. There wasn't really too big of a break in anything, and everybody had plenty of time to get their stuff ready, as far as I know, and everybody's happy, as far as I know. I didn't have any complaining that I knew about. So
I mean, you guys had 70
good.
entries, and there was a handful of guys that went to Minnesota.
Yeah,
and I don't think anybody that runs carpet went to the dirt race. So, so we could have very much, even if that race wasn't going on, this could have been easily an 80 entry club race.
Yeah.
So there was looks like a D main, an independent buggy.
Yeah, that was our biggest class.
That's great.
And
I don't know. Did you get it? Were you thinking, man, I need a car?
A little bit, but honestly, it was kind of good that I didn't, so I could just make sure that the program ran well.
Right.
Yeah. Like rather than trying to race. And
I know the feeling. How was the track? What'd you think of the track layout this time around?
I thought it was pretty good. It got beat up really bad. Like that was the most crashing I'd ever seen in my life, I think.
Really?
Yeah, like well, like there's just like wood splinters everywhere, and like it was just like chaos.
Was the carpet okay?
As far as I know, yeah,
Okay.
I didn't see any spots that weren't double padded that got a nick in them or anything.
Okay, good. What'd you think of the so Jackson and I set up the track Thursday night before I left. What did you think of the first, not the jump off the straightaway, but the next one that had the 2 boards kind of on each other?
I thought it was cool, but like if it would have been fine if we had nothing but experienced mod drivers, but with the like the novice class that there is or not or like Plex Spec and maybe like the independent classes, there was a lot of cars jumping onto the straightaway there.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if like maybe we should put a net up or something or
Yeah. I mean, I always worry about that. The on-road guys set up the track, and it if you look over the last 4 or 5 years, the tracks are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always that little short straight right there, and it's a perfect place for a jump. But the problem is, if you put a jump right next to the straightaway, guys are always going to find a way to jump onto the straightaway.
Yeah, no, that was happening a lot. It was like every single heat, straightaway. But
Okay.
what do you do?
Yeah, I know. Well,
That was my only critique.
I would like-
Other than that, I thought that was really cool.
I would like to see the lane come a little bit diagonal from the straightaway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but whatever. Maybe I can talk them into it next time they start changing the track around.
Yeah. But other than that, it was fine. I stayed after guys practiced on Friday and taped the track some more, and then Jackson was at Walmart. He called me before I was leaving my house, and he was like, "Hey, I'm at Walmart. Do you want me to get some more duct tape?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I said, "Just get it, and I'll tell Tim we need to pay it out for it or something, so you get paid for it." So he got more duct tape. I just didn't want to be without. Like I didn't know if there was more. Or
could you imagine
whatever,
if this shortage that's going on ends up affecting black duct tape? How crappy,
yeah, we'll be going to gray.
How crappy that would be.
Yeah.
I hope not.
No, it'd be terrible. I mean, there's a lot of brands, right? There's like that T-Rex tape. That stuff's pretty good. I use that to hold Christmas lights up when you're.
Though.
Is it
the Gorilla Tape?
T-Rex tape.
Oh, because Gorilla Tape we were using because we carried it, and then I realized how much of it we were actually going to use and stopped doing.
Oh,
it.
really?
Oh, yeah. The rolls didn't last because it's so thick that it didn't last very well. Well, let's just go through the main results here. So, independent buggy, biggest class of the weekend, and wow, look at TJ, TQ in a win. Yeah. 2/10 in front of Joe Schnoes.
Yeah, it was a drag race, dude. There's some close racing.
That's
just
good.
wait until you get to Mod 2 wheel.
Oh, that's great. So that was good. Good to see Joe back.
Yeah.
He kind of took the summer off.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Hogenmiller was there again, finished third. Looks like Phil Palmer got a good finish. Bender, Ronnie Wint, Josh McMullen, and Bryson Ramey. Bryson was there for the first time this year, so some good names. I love the independent class, like I said, regular Joes, and it's kind of starting to see some familiar faces in these A mains every week. As these guys just get a little bit better every time. Where did Jackson get a four-wheel drive from? This is 13.5 four-wheel drive. He ended up winning.
Him and Lance shared a car.
Oh.
So, like, their races were back-to-back. So, like, Jackson would be standing down there, like, in like, at the where you put your car down with another battery in his radio. Or and you know, I don't know if it's his radio or what. Maybe just, like, another battery in his... No, it was another battery in his body. So, like, he'd take the body off, change the battery, put his car on, and then, like, Lance would hand off the radio to him, and he'd go up on the stand. Like, it's like, man, if you want to race it that bad, there's a way.
So John Kinzer, second. Nathan Hogenmiller, third again. David Peevler, fourth. Jana Peevler right behind him by a lap. Mm-hmm. What happened to Sanders?
His car just stopped. Oh. Like, he was leading, and his car just, like, stopped. And then Ronnie picked it up and looked at it. He's like, I don't know what's wrong with it. And then he set it back down, and then he let it sit there for a minute, and then it started going again.
Oh, I wonder if a fan quit or something like that.
Well, that's what Mike said. And then he was like, well, I wonder if maybe my, like, sensor wire or something got jammed in my, like, motor gear mesh.
Yeah.
And just stopped it. Because it, like, stopped dead, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't see it stop. I just saw it sitting there. And he was like, I don't know what's going on.
That's weird. Joe Schnoes was seventh, and Nick Pavel, his first time out on the carpet, was eighth. So I should have an EB4 10.2 starting tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
So I think I might be tempted to race it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I kind of want to do dirt, not carpet, but I'm thinking 13.5 4-wheel drive for next year. Me and Emerson both.
Oh, for the summer series?
Yeah.
You're not going to run 40 plus mod?
Oh, I will.
Oh, okay.
Mod 2-wheel drive was Jackson Anderson with 27. Aiden Olson was there.
Mm-hmm.
Got a second. Dayton Mosier TQ'd and finished third. Brian Burnt was fourth, and David Peeler was fifth.
There's a lot of moving and shaking going on that one.
Yeah. Your top guys with 12-second laps. So, hey, just to put this in perspective, I was thinking about this on the drive home yesterday. The fast laps for Hutch were like 13.2s.
Mm-hmm.
And the fast laps for our carpet on-road or off-road are like 12.8s, 12.7s.
Yeah.
So it's like half a second apart, and their track is twice as big.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there was so much grip that if I was at Hutch racing, I would have put a carpet setup on my car.
Yeah.
And ran the ride height low to keep from flipping over.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was so much grip.
Right.
And it shows by the lap times.
Well, I mean, it's almost like you have to look at how tight and twisty a track is too.
Yeah.
You know, like just because the track's bigger doesn't mean the lap time, or a track's smaller doesn't mean the lap times are going to really correspond.
Right.
But I'm not doubting there was a lot of grip.
We could, if I opened it up a little bit, it could easily. I mean, look at the on-road guys. The on-road guys are doing the 12 scales on this layout.
Mm-hmm.
With all the jumps picked up, we're doing 9-second laps.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, okay. Expert stock. A-Main Dayton Mosier with a TQ and a win. Mike Sanders second. Joe Schnow's third. Jana Peevler fourth. Nathan Hogan-Miller fifth. Daniel Bender sixth. Josh McMullen seventh, and Phil Palmer eighth. Your top four kind of all right where they qualified. And Jana was less than a second away from Joe at the end.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Stadium trucks. Looks like we only had 3 stadium trucks. What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
John Kinzer, Brian Keever, and TJ Williams. Did a ball cup come off or something?
On TJ's car?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Just a lot of crashing.
Did he just crash a lot?
Just a lot of crashing.
Plex Spec. Brian Mullins running Plex Spec. Got the win, but Jamie Peevler got the TQ.
Well, he said he wanted to be taken out of that, but I didn't know how to do it.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, you got to run. Got to run with whatever you feel comfortable with.
Well, he raced Plex Spec and regular.
Oh, he wasn't supposed to do that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's one or the other. If you race Plex Spec, you can't race anything else.
Okay. I know that now.
Yeah, you know that now. It's fine. Carson Sanders third, Ryan Nemick fourth, Sawyer Haley. The Haleys were there. That's nice to see. They got fifth. Isabella McMullen sixth, Riker Haley seventh, and Connor House only win a lap.
Yeah. Mullins, he was saying he just wanted to get more track time.
Oh.
I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
So that was it. You guys were done at 8:30 with 70 entries.
That's not too bad.
And
what does that come out to, around 2.5 hours a round or so?
Let's see. Round 1 started at 1:30 and finished at 3:30, so 2 hours. And then round 2 started at 3:58 or 3:50.
Yeah.
And
did it start late?
I mean, I usually run it back to back. And there's that many, you don't really need.
Well,
to take
that
a
was
break,
me
but...
trying to figure out the resort.
Oh, okay. All right.
I didn't take a break.
That's fine. That's cool. But yeah, no, you did 2 hours around. That's perfect. In fact, your second round, you were 10 minutes faster.
Nice.
So yeah, you're right at where you're supposed to be. And when you have when you got a big turnout, not a lot you can do about it.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
And then just really quick, we'll go over Sunday, and then we'll take a pivot break, come back, look at the comments, and then we'll be out of here.
Okay.
Let me look at Sunday, because Sunday I looked at Sunday before I started to drive home, and I was expecting more entries overall.
Oh, really?
So they had 46 entries, but I was confident that they were going to be able to handle or get like maybe 60. So honestly, I was a little disappointed with the on-road turnout.
Yeah.
But they had 2 heats of 12 scale, 2 heats of vintage, and two heats of USGT. So I mean, in Formula One, Ken McKinney got the win. Vishal Singh was second. Tony Cook was third. Mason Ebner was fourth. Olin Hines was fifth, and Jim Hungate was sixth. I'm still thinking about getting that Yokomo running.
I thought you have a Yosh.
I got a Roche for 12 scale. And I'm not ready to race that yet because I haven't figured out how to get that thing not to suck. Maybe it's just me. GTE, so those are those new Tamiya cars with the inboard suspension that look like the real GTE cars that they're running. The Formula E or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tim took the win. TQ and winning that one. And it was Dennis Reardon, Nate Anderson, Tom Quinn Ensley, Mark Ebner, Barry Eveland, and Bob Foster. In 12 scale, Mike Clement looks like he's the man to beat. 46 laps, and he was a lap ahead of everybody else. Jason Schald, Chris Tyler, Kobe Krell, Jeff Goodyear, a name I haven't said in a long time. Kind of decided to get back into it. Bob Foster, Ryan Wheeler, and Jay Hines. In vintage, it was Dennis Reardon, Chris Tyler, Tony Cook, Nate Anderson, Jay Hines, Mark Ebner, Jeff Brock. USGT, looks like Mike Clement starts off with a TQ and win for the year. Then Gokenauer with Dustin in second, and then Dennis, Jim, Ken McKinney, Vishal Singh, Brock, Jeff Brock, and Mason Ebner. And TC Spec had Mark Ebner taking the win. That's cool. Bob Foster, Mark Brigatti, Jim Hungate, Barry Eveland, and Tom Quinn Ensley. So, I mean, overall, pretty successful weekend. We didn't race Friday because I had nobody to run the races, but still, I mean, 70 entries plus 50 entries. That's, 120 entries for the weekend between the two. I think that's really good.
Yeah. Oh, not too bad.
Okay. Very quickly, why don't we just take our pivot break, and then we'll come back and get through the comments. If you got a question for us or something you want us to talk about, go ahead and drop it in the comments, and we'll try to get to it here after we come back.
Now is your time.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Yeah!
This is a Pivot Lending Update with David Olson and Don Zoller. Get some.
This is David Olson with Pivot Lending Group. Today is May 10th, 2021, and we are going to be talking about temporary financing. Pivot Lending Group works with several credit unions, community banks across the Midwest and on the West Coast, soon to be on the East Coast, that we're teaming up with to have an alternative to your traditional bridge mortgage. In a bridge situation, you would be purchasing your future home as well as retaining your departing property for a short period of time until that property sells. And on your home that you'd be purchasing, you would have long-term financing. And then once your loan on the home that you sell gets paid off, then everything's a wash. Great programs, tons of great bridge programs out there. The downside to a traditional bridge is you end up in a situation for potentially 1 or 2 months, maybe longer than that, of having 2 mortgage payments. You have the mortgage payment on the property that you're purchasing, and then you still have the mortgage payment on the property that you bridged out to help you with that purchase. teaming up with our financial institutions, credit unions, and the community banks on the temporary side, we can come in, lend the money to purchase the new home, and then bundle everything together on your primary house that you're selling, on the new home, and put it into just one master note. And then you have one monthly payment on that master note. And potentially you can even have deferred payment to the end of the term, the short-term term, until that house is sold. So really excited about that. Gives you guys opportunities to come in and to put yourself ahead of the line with some of the other buyers, because you can come in, contract quickly without a lot of additional conditions or requests with the seller. Makes you really, really attractive. There are some things that you have to have in order to qualify for it. You know, obviously equity is a big one, pretty strong credit and those sorts of things. If you have any questions on that program, feel free to give me a call, 402-881-5951, and we can walk you through and show you the differences between a traditional bridge loan and temporary financing.
David Olson, NMLS 16099. Don Zoller, NMLS 277589. Pivot Lending, NMLS 109995.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Master Note sounds like a traditional gangster rapper from the 90s that plays like a piano. Were you listening to the commercial?
Not really.
Oh, he's talking about Master Notes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, sorry. I guess it
was
wasn't
like
that
that was a
funny.
weird thing to bring up, but no. Okay. Now I understand.
Yeah.
Oh man, we just got just a random $5 super chat from our regular Canadian
Yes.
Peter Renault on here, and another $10 super chat from Nuthouse. He says, "Great job with keeping the races moving this weekend." And Emerson, his son is also he has a son named Emerson. Was thrilled to have you test out his car.
Yeah. Yep. They were running. Oh, go ahead.
What'd you think of that RB10?
It was really cool. They kind of shimmied a little bit down the straightaway because I don't think it's really designed to be driven on that much grip. But I think it's just in the servo saver.
Did it?
But
wait, were you running the stock radio?
Yeah, stock. It was just stock everything.
It has that Team Associated built-in gyro.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yep.
That was really cool
Yep.
because it was getting around the track really pretty decent. I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, this is pretty cool. I'm having a good time. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I think I said this on the What's New Wednesday last week. That's the only real 10 scale off-road ready to run car you can get.
Yeah.
So, I think we may end up selling a lot of those, especially when summer comes around.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have guys that want to get out of Plex spec, or get something for Plex spec for dirt.
Exactly. And I bet you that car with tires and maybe a little bit of center of gravity management, like kind of getting the CG figured out on that car a little bit with electronics placement and all that. I bet you that car could be a pretty good independent buggy car.
I think so. Like when I was driving around the track, I was like, "Oh, hello, old friend!" Like with the rear motor.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I'm like, I remember this. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I like because I remember like running I had a B5 rear motor, and I raced that. I loved the way that car drove. Like I wasn't as fast as the B5M, but I just liked the way it drove.
Yeah. So I had somebody ask me this week because there was a statement from IFMAR like a month ago that stated that they were starting to get back into the gear of scheduling the Worlds next year for 2022.
Yeah.
And to get going again. So they basically missed a whole World cycle. So 2020 and 21, no Worlds. So everything that was scheduled to be in 2020 will now be in 2022. So it's just like those 2 years just didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And I had somebody ask me what I thought about trying to hold the off-road Worlds 10 scale at our place.
Yeah.
And I just told him the truth. I said, I don't see how we can do it.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about it, and if you look at the IFMAR general rules and look at what it takes to hold a Worlds event, the cost, just for me right now, looking at it, it doesn't compute with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get $200 an entry, and if it's especially if it's in the United States, it's going to be 150 tops. That's how many you can have tops, is 150 entries.
Mm-hmm.
So 150 entries at $200 is $30,000. And then you're sitting there going, wow, $30,000. But then you have to start thinking about everything, because unlike the Roar races, where Roar takes all the entries and then divvies out the agreed upon amounts to the tracks after it's all over.
Mm-hmm.
For the Worlds, the track gets all the entries, but they also have to take care of everything. And holy crap, it'd be expensive.
Yeah.
It's a 9-day event. It's 4 days 2-wheel drive, 4 days 4-wheel drive with a day in between. And if you have to hire like tech staff, for instance, they've got to be available for 9 straight days.
Yeah.
Maybe even 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then think about that. That's 10 days. That's just 10 days that the track is shut down, not taking entries, not getting track fees. And then on top of that, I would say a minimum of 2 weeks would be required to get the track ready.
Yeah.
Get everything clean, get all the banners up. That would, just to make the place look nice.
Yeah.
Have you can't, an event like that.
Scrape the booger wall.
Yeah, an event like that, you couldn't have just random people coming downstairs. You'd have to block that off. You have to have passes. You have to have somebody manning the door to make sure that only racers or their mechanics or media get in.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get all that set up and stuff. So think about it. So 2 weeks plus 9 days, so that's almost a month of the track being shut down.
Yeah.
Not taking entries, not having races, not selling parts for those races, not having open track days, selling parts during those open track days, getting those $10 entry fees. Dude, that starts to, you look at that and you're like, it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how commercial tracks can do that sort of thing.
Sure.
I
see that. Like, oh, I get it. Like when I heard, well, you told me about it like right away. And like when you told me about it, it's like, yeesh, it'd be cool. Don't get me wrong. But, it's like, you wouldn't be able to use sauce. You wouldn't be able to do a lot of things that we normally do at our track to go fat or to make your stuff work. So I don't know. I mean, that's the first thing I thought of, is everything would be changed. Like everything would be really different for that event.
Mm.
But, I mean, you probably wouldn't even run the races, would you? Like, would you have Scotty or somebody come in, or?
So,
because then we'd have to pay for that too, wouldn't we?
We would. To be honest with you, if we were to try to do something like that and we ended up being awarded the Worlds, I probably would try to be the announcer.
Yeah, that's kind of your world championship.
It's my track.
Right?
Like, I would hope that I could be the announcer. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to race. There's no way I'd be able to race it.
I couldn't race it.
Yeah. So why would I?
I do not qualify. I don't think. No, not at all. Actually, I know. I don't think I know. I don't qualify for that.
But I don't know. You start adding it up. I mean, you think about, so I think we could rent the Roar RMT for that event. But so then I would have to house in a hotel for 9 days, 5 people minimum for the Roar RMT. So that's 2 hotel rooms, maybe 3 for at least 9 days. That's nuts. And the track has to pay for that.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I don't see how it'd be possible. I think that's why we passed on bidding on it in 2013, because it was just like, no.
Yeah. I mean, is this something you're going to think about, or is it a hard no already?
You know what? It's something I got to think about. I have to do a little bit more. There's a couple of people that I want to talk to and find out what they charged for sponsorship money. If the sponsorship money's big enough and you can get that,
Yeah.
then we're talking something else. Then you're looking at your $30,000 entry fees plus sponsorship money. And if the sponsorship money can take care of a lot of that stuff, well, then all of a sudden we're in a different area.
Yeah.
You know, but knowing
it'd be cool, but it's easy to say it'd be cool when I'm not going to be doing a lot of the work, you know?
Right. But and also I'm pretty sure they confiscate your tires every night. So you have to. It's not just tech. You have to
bet
have,
your sweet ass they take
you
your
have
tires.
to have somebody
Yeah.
manning the tire area. You have to have somebody watching these guys glue their tires, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
I mean, there's all this stuff that you have to have a person there for to be an official. Right.
Yeah,
the Roar races are a little easier because you have Roar is basically renting your track from you.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing I've got to do is build the track, make sure all the monitors and sound and everything else works, and then Roar comes in and does everything. They pay for everything and they do everything other than the actual track part of it. So that's why I like holding nationals, because it's so freaking easy. The track's the easy part. I can build a track. I can make the place look nice, and I can build a track. You know, if I had to, I could even run the race. But you know, it's all the other stuff behind the scenes. And my experience doing that and trying to gather sponsorship money from the nationals is knowing how hard that is. I can imagine asking even more money, you know, for the IFMAR race.
Right.
So I don't know. It's something that that somebody asked me about this week, and I started thinking about it because I was like, oh yeah, they are going to start taking bids for Worlds again, aren't they? So I don't know. Nationals, yes. Worlds. And the other thing too is you got to think about this. This is what happens when you hold a national event even. So if you think that at the nationals, the track, the money made from the store comes from the spec tire sales, and then whatever so if you hold a 300 entry event, you get a pretty nice check from Roar, but everything beyond that is mostly just tire sales and rim sales, wheels. You hardly sell any parts. We've held multiple nationals now. Nobody buys parts at the Nats because all the teams are there. They have their own parts.
Mm-hmm.
And very few regular people go to that because the entry fee is so high. It's pretty much all sponsored people. So you're not going to get any mod guys buying tires from you. It's all the stock guys.
Mm-hmm.
Worlds would be even worse. Nobody would buy parts from you at Worlds. Nobody.
Yeah.
There would be no tire sales, no nothing at Worlds.
Yeah.
Because they would all have their own stuff. So you'd be shut down for almost a month. And the only real monetary thing that you would get from it would be from the entry fees or from the sponsorships.
Yeah, and getting to say you held the Worlds there.
And getting to say you held the Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's why I like the J Concepts races, the INS races.
Yeah.
It's kind of half and half. You get regular people because the entry fees are reasonable. So you get regular people there and sponsored guys. So you do sell some stuff in the store. You don't have to shut your track down like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we did sell a lot of tires.
Yeah, I could see that. I totally get that because, like, Jason doing that series does such a great job giving back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's what that whole series is about. You know, just good racing.
Yep.
But I don't know. I mean, it's easy to say just have Worlds, but you know, that's usually from somebody that has no idea what kind of work it's going to take to put
Right.
it on.
Yeah. And I mean,
I'd like to see it happen, but
I mean,
like I said, I'd see it happen because I wouldn't even be able to race.
I get anxiety attacks just from weekly races.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go through the comments and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
I bought a new speaker for the store. I got to go test it out after we're done.
Okay.
We had John Haas on here, Peter Renault, Travis Clancy, looks like Lance Murray, Nicholas Petrizak, Tom Baker says, hey, Alex and Will. Steve RC, kind of the regular crew on here. Andy Barrett, he goes, well, now we know where you get it all from. That's when I was talking about my my experience with the lunch lady.
Yeah. It's her fault.
Yeah, it's her fault. Jackson Anderson says that Will's getting his e-buggy ready to smack me this Friday. Nope, he's working on his gas truck.
Yep, right here.
I'll be working on. So we didn't have after hours Thursday because we were still taping off the track at like 10 o'clock. But I will be working on my e-buggy on Thursday so that I can try to keep up with you guys.
Yeah, I built another set of shocks for my e-buggy. That's about as far as I got, just to test something. I came up on Friday and practiced, but I just pretty much ran my gas truck the whole time. So.
Yeah. John Haas says Ethan's line through the S jump section was freaking sweet up there.
Nice.
So I saw some video of Ethan driving his car. That track has had a couple really short landings that if you missed, it seemed like you were destined to be about a half second off. You had to like hit it every time. Tom Baker says there should be more racing etiquette in the independent 17.5 and four-wheel drive classes.
At the Plex?
Yeah, at the Plex.
Who said that?
Tom Baker.
Oh, he wasn't even there, was he?
I don't know. I think Indy's okay. I think it's not too bad. And I usually call stuff out.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to catch everything.
I was pretty happy.
Because the lap times are so short on our track, and it's like everything just runs together. It's just like, all right, in less than 5, and then boop, and then just total chaos. A bomb goes off, and all the cars go flying. Like,
Kenneth Meyer says, hey, guys.
Hey.
Tom Baker says you did a great job running the race.
Thanks.
Corey Tannehill says, I hope someday, I can stop a robber by throwing a can at the robber and then yell, not on my watch. Is that from something?
I don't know. It sounds funny.
Didn't Crocodile Dundee do that to the purse snatcher?
Maybe. I don't know.
And then, but not say not on my watch. I don't think he said that. But I know he threw a can at a purse snatcher in the original Crocodile Dundee. John Haas says T to the J for TJ. RC Bros says, glad I could have seen you race. I don't know what we were talking about at that time. Nuthouse, he said, was a lot of fun racing carpet. Boys really like the RB10s.
Good.
John Hoska says, schedule for next week for Winter Series, same as Summer Series. Pretty much, yes. Doors open at 4, and we practice till 10. Doors open 7 on Saturday. We no practice for anybody that practiced Friday until 9 a.m., and then we start racing at 10:30. And if I'm starting to think that if we get an even bigger, if we keep getting these massive Techno Series turnouts, we should probably start racing at 10 instead of 10:30.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. If we end up with like 210 entries, not only am I going to like start doing drugs, but
what kind of drugs are we testing?
Well, they'll have to be uppers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll probably have to start a little earlier from round 2 on. I'm thinking
uppers.
I even thought last year. I even thought about maybe cutting the mains down.
Well, we could start earlier, but then start practice earlier.
On Friday? Or on Saturday?
Saturday morning.
Screw that.
Okay.
I don't like
all
it.
right.
I'm not getting up any earlier than I have to on Saturday. 7 o'clock.
Yeah. No, that's just an idea. There's that, or you could run a qualifier on Friday, but that wouldn't necessarily work out for everybody.
Yeah, but then everybody has to be there on Friday, and then they have to spend money on a hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them do, but not all of them.
Yeah, maybe just cutting out that practice would be the only option.
Yeah. But I was even
Trying to get everybody out of there at a decent time. You know?
I was thinking just maybe have like an entry cutoff. Like say, like if we have more than 180 entries, then maybe the expert main should be 20 minutes. The sportsman main would be 15. The truggy main would be 20 instead of 30.
Gas truck would be 20 minutes.
You know, I don't know.
No.
You know, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this first round. I have a feeling there's going to be buttloads of people there Saturday, next Saturday. So we'll see. Jackson tried making a joke, and he put a "Let's Go Brandon" in it, which means that we're now banned from Canada. There was a kid named Brandon down there. I was making all sorts of Biden jokes down then. Hutch, it was pretty funny.
I'm sure everybody loved you because of it.
I think most did, actually. It was pretty funny.
Like, they're like, hey man, that Brandon's or that Alex is all right, man.
Bob Thorpe from the pits says, "Evening, gentlemen and everyone." See if I get this name right. Rovion says, "World sounds like a logistical disaster. Lots of work for just a feather in your cap." And I agree.
It is a pretty sweet feather, though. Have you seen it?
I know. I wish that it was like the early 90s when precedents hadn't been set yet for things like giant digital walls and you know. I think another problem is that it's 9 days. I think that's another problem. If they could run 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive at the same time.
Well, and then you have to change part of the track, don't you?
Yes, on the off day. Yeah. So it's 2 separate races. I think that's the other problem. You have a 2-wheel drive portion and a 4-wheel drive portion. Not only are they acting like they're 2 separate entries, but you have to change the track. It can't be the same track, which again, the track part's easy. I can come up with a track that I can do what they did in at Hootie Arena and just change the track around with some pipe and make a new track. I don't think that's hard. But it's the length of the race and how much it costs to house people for that long.
Right.
And pay them. Don't forget, if it's RMT, they got to get paid. So I don't know. It's terrible. Yeah,
I'd want some government money.
Yeah, no kidding. Connor Housh says, is Tiny Tuesday going to Thursdays anytime soon? Not yet. We were kind of spitting around that idea a little bit because, again, the idea is that I could set up a track on Thursday and then leave it up until Saturday night. So we'd have 3 days, 18 scale racing on Thursday. The track would be ready for people to practice on Friday and then race on it on Saturday and then pick it up. But we already said Tiny Tuesday, so I kind of want to just go with it for a while. And Tiny Thursday doesn't roll off the tongue near as easy.
Yeah.
You know? I'm all about branding, you know? And I get a kick out of it when people steal my branding.
Yeah. Me too. It's fun just to make fun.
I know. What do you do to store tires for the winter?
Well, don't let them freeze. You don't want to leave them out in your garage and get cold and freeze, because then they won't work the same.
Think you just clean them and bag them?
I would think so. Honestly, I haven't stored tires for that long in a while.
You don't really want. I mean, you don't want them to dry out.
Yeah, you don't want to leave a bunch of dirt on them.
You don't want to have them sit somewhere where the foam would get stale and put a dent in the foam.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if you could get a couple bags of beef jerky and put some of those silica gel packs
Oh yeah.
in a tire bag. I wonder
Well,
if that would help them
Remember,
stay fresh.
Gravity RC sells those humidified tire storage containers. I have a couple of those.
You're humidified?
Yeah.
How are they humidified?
Like it's got a thing where you put a thing with these beads,
Mhm.
and you watch the beads grow, and it keeps the tire with a certain humidity or something like that.
Huh, that's cool.
I've never actually used the bead part of it, to be honest with you. I just chucked them and just put my tires in there with the cap on it, but that's how it's supposed to work. But
I didn't know that.
ProTech also has just the tire bins, and all these were stolen. The whole idea was stolen from a guy. I can't remember is it tire? Oh my gosh, I saw it at State Line the first year I was there, and the guy had these tire tubes, and he was selling them. Tire Stack.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. They basically ripped that off. That's pretty much what it is. But
Well,
still.
that's RC for you.
I know, right?
You have a good idea. Somebody's going to rip it off. Trust
Yep.
me, I know. Oh, trust me, I know.
Oh, trust me. But yeah, I would, Peter. I would think just like a gallon Ziploc bag, and clean your tires, throw them in the bag, kind of squish all the air out of it, and seal it, and put it in a storage thing, and pull it out next year.
You don't want them in direct sunlight.
Yeah. Nick Nunhouse says, any chance carpet could start at 11? No. Unfortunately, no. The 1:30 time was a negotiated start time. I actually wanted to start our club racing later, but Tim wanted to start it earlier, and so we kind of agreed at 1:30 for clubbing. So the summer series is a little different because we have an official practice day on Friday and that sort of thing, and we're getting 100 and something entries, so we kind of have to start earlier.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For clubbing, I just 1:30 was a good time for me because it allowed people to come in, as late as 11:30 or whatever, and still get some track time.
Well, and the thing is a majority of the guys come from out of town, right?
Yeah.
You start moving that start time up earlier, they'll be like, I can go without racing this week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd have a hard time getting there too.
So would I.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I live an hour away.
Yeah. I'm I don't know. So no, probably not. Sorry. Keen Crafting says, what a weekend. It sure was fun. You nailed it. Thanks, way to run a program. He was down
Thanks.
at Hutch.
Oh.
So that one was directed towards me. Sorry. You too, though. Good job. Good job this weekend.
Thanks. I'll take it.
He says my jokes are awesome, so that's great. I love it.
Hey.
Yeah.
I know somebody with better jokes.
Yeah. Probably. Well, I stole all of your jokes for the 40+ class.
Did you really?
I did. And in fact,
You slut.
Ray, Ray, is it Ray Burns? He had New Balance shoes on. It was great.
That's the best.
Jackson, are you going to build the track Friday for carpet? Yes. Yeah, the track will get put up on Friday. Keep it scale stupid. One of my favorite names. It says Plex, Plex, Plex. Emoji, emoji, emoji. Roavon. Hopefully my kid will take to enjoy RC. Got to start him early.
Yeah.
And Cody Steinbach, who I believe raced Saturday.
He did.
Says 1:30 is perfect for him. And he said, you did a really good job.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. We're down the list. We better go. It's 8:18, and I think Richard's day, our producer, is pretty much over at this point. So,
Yeah.
my sister's at home with a migraine.
Oh.
Our family's that's a trait that got passed over from our parents to us. We get migraines every once in a while. So, yep, I have a a powered speaker that I'm going to go to the Plex real quick and plug in and make sure it works. Otherwise, I'll just send it back and or take it back. I bought it today from Guitar
Where'd you buy
Center.
it from?
Guitar Center.
Used?
Brand new.
Oh, new.
Brand new. So we need a little bit better sound for the Techno series coming up because what we have now would not carry over the Nitro cars. So
Yeah, no.
so I'm going to go do that.
Well, I got a new chassis in my car, so that's cool. Look at that.
Cool.
It's like new.
Nice.
Gonna go take it to the Techno series and then take it to Shaw's. And,
Nice. I don't think I'm going to that Lone Star Classic now. I have a feeling gas prices are going to be so crazy towards the end of November, early December that I can't see myself spending that much money.
Yeah. I remember when gas prices were $4.25 a gallon.
Yeah, that was rough.
You remember that?
Oh yeah, that was rough.
It was like 2008.
God, could you imagine living in California where there's $6 a gallon right now? I mean, seriously.
What causes that?
Stupidity. So.
Man, I bet those people putting gas in trash bags in the back of their car are laughing all the way to the bank.
Hey, before we go, I wanted to pass around this. I wanted to give you this idea. So I was thinking about, instead of getting a scooter, of getting an e-bike.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
They can do like almost 30 miles an hour, and they have the ones that I've been looking at. Most of them have a range of about 30 miles without pedal assist.
So would you like ride that on mountain bike trails?
You could. You get yelled at around here. They don't. Our mountain bike community, not a big fan of e-bikes right now.
That's funny.
Yeah, but
just like if somebody starts getting ready to talk to you, just like start pedaling. Like, I
know.
was not. I was pedaling.
But no, I'm just thinking about it because I mean, I'd have to leave for work earlier, but mileage, I'm 6 miles away from work, so I could easily ride it back and forth during the summertime, as long as it's not going to. Well, I mean, even if it rains on me, I guess it doesn't really matter. But
not really.
I don't know. They're not that. I mean, they're expensive, but they're not any more expensive than. They're cheaper than a scooter. Let's put it that way. A Zoom is $4,800, and an e-bike is about, the one I've been looking at is about $25.
Yeah, but you can sell the Zuma for something. What's that thing worth when you're done with it?
I don't know. But what if they pass this stupid gas tax bull crap? Or not this mileage tax nonsense.
Oh, they do that on an e-bike?
No, that's why I was looking at it. You know? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm glad I have a scooter.
Yeah, I know. You too. I mean, a Zuma or something is still in my mind for when I get my truck paid off.
My scooter gets terrible mileage, like, because it does, you know.
Well, yeah,
like,
but yours is all modded out, so you can go fast and you have like a hot rod scooter.
Yeah, mine's ridiculous. Like, rip on it and picks the front wheel up off the ground. Like, it's that thing's ridiculous. It's easily, like, if I had to guess, a 20 horsepower scooter.
Yeah.
Like, I broke belts on it, like the transmission belt. Like,
yeah, I know.
It was break a belt. But anyway, yeah, I haven't talked about scooters in a long time.
I know we haven't.
I don't know.
I'm thinking about it.
I called that dude at the dealer where you got yours and took it back. He never got back to me. I called him like 3 times on it. Oh. So he's like, so how do you feel about getting into a new one? I'm like, dude, I'm not buying something new. I want something I can like make cool, like, and fast. Like, I'm not going to keep this thing stock if I even keep the engine in it.
Right.
You know? Like, should just go all the way and put a 600 in it and be done with it.
Yeah.
600cc scooter.
All right. Well, anyways, all right, we better go.
Yeah.
Hey, this has been Alex Sturgeon. I'm the manager and race director at the Hobbytown HobbyPlex, the original HobbyPlex. And with me, as always, has been
Will Brinton.
And this has been the HobbyPlex Show podcast, sponsored by Pivot Lending Group. If you find them at pivotlending.com and you want a home loan or refinance, get a hold of Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad, and they'll hook you up. And mention our show, you get $500 lender credit or 0.125 off of your interest rate.
Yeah. The HobbyPlex. Often imitated, never duplicated.
Yeah. Okay. Well, bye.
Yeah. See you guys.